Today I'm showing you all the cards that Back for Blood has released so far with its beta. So as you can see, my supply lines, there are none, and that's because I've bought everything in all three supply lines, every single chain. So I'm going to leave each one of these screens up for about 10 seconds so you can pause it if you want, if it's too fast, and you can easily see all the bonuses for each card. Now, it's worth noting that these are not all the cards that Back for Blood so far is working on or has to offer. They do have about another 45 to 50. I didn't count once I got the last cards unlocked, but about roughly 50 cards more that are locked. Don't know if these cards are cards that they weren't perfected or are they too OP? I don't know why they're locked and they didn't give us access to them, especially since they are going to remove all progress from the beta. And that's another thing that you should be advised of. Any progress that you make during the beta will not carry over to the release of the game. You will start fresh once you start uh, when the game is actually released. Other than that, I'm just gonna show you the cards. That's about all the information wanted to give you. If you haven't really unlocked a lot of these cards, you can make some good combos and some good decks just alone with these cards right here. So it's going to be very interesting to see what those other perks on the other cards are to actually build like a fully OP or fully optimized deck. There is no chain in the supply lines either from talking to other players. It's going to be RNG. You're going to get a random supply chain for your top, middle, and bottom. And if you finish a chain, the next one that you get is also RNG. So there is no order. Can't there's no given to when you would unlock any card here if you did go and you unlocked a certain chain to try to get a card or a couple of cards. Anybody who hasn't spent any time or just a small amount of time on the beta, if you spent a small amount of time, you know that there's already matchmaking issues. Also wanted to note, for anybody playing campaign, I highly recommend taking off the centering. It's like the rectile centering or the auto centering, whatever it is. It's in the gameplay controller shortly down in the menu. Take that off. You can leave that off and put auto aim on and put your highest sensitivity that you're comfortable with. Like I run 120, but I run everything on max sensitivity. That with the auto aim is just ridiculous once you take the centering off. The centering off actually helps whether you have auto aim on or off. It just helps with the sway, so whether you're free aiming your shots, hip firing your shots. Hip firing doesn't really get affected either way, but whether you're pop shotting or hard aiming your shots, I highly recommend to take the centering off for both versus and campaign. And for campaign, leave the auto aim assist on and turn it up to max strength, and for versus, remove it. Also, I've heard a couple people mention turning the drift up to fix it. I definitely do not recommend doing that. Just keep it at 0.1 unless your controller is drifting, and just run the highest sensitivity that you're comfortable with. Taking off the centering is enough. I'm pretty sure you'll agree once you do it. So they did give a lot of cards with the beta, which was nice. I was kind of hoping I actually only grounded out all these because I thought I'd be able to show you all the cards in the game. But since I can't, I figured at least I'll show you a lot of the cards in the game. And that actually is the last page. So that is like 11 pages. That is 110 of the cards that Back for Blood has to offer. And they do have another 50 that are locked. Are they working on them? Will they be in the final release? Will any of these be adjusted? Nobody knows right now, but most of the ones, every one I did equip seemed to work just fine. I didn't notice any problems. I didn't test out every single one, but um, yeah, they seem to work as stated. So this is some of the stuff that Back for Blood will have to offer with its skill cards. And by the way, just before I end this video, I want to note on how to build a deck, because a lot of people don't know this. I mean, every time I told somebody this, not one person knew it. The first card in your deck is the guaranteed card that you receive at the start of the match. Then your first drawer will be one of the next 5 cards. Your next drawer will be one of the next 5 cards. Your next drawer will be one of the next. And it just keeps going like that. And as you select cards, they get removed from the 5. So the next 5 might be slightly different. But you really want to optimize your number 1 position, at least a couple cards that you really want potentially for your second drawer, at least one in there for your second drawer, and so forth. So at least you get the first 3 cards like that are really good, like your top 3 picks. You're getting them as soon as possible, and that's how you build a deck. I hope that helps.